Well, boating season is well underway, but do you know what the law requires of boat operators? Tom Sinus from Sinus Dramus Law Firm joining us as he does every weekend to go over some of the most important points of Michigan's boating laws and regulations. What do you need to know?
Right, so let's get what you need to know out of the way so you can go out there and have fun and be safe. First of all, what about registering your boat? Here's the basic rule. You got to register your boat.
Like a car.
If your boat is under 16 feet,
okay,
you don't have to register it. Now, most people watching this segment and have a boat, it's probably over 16 feet. So you've got to register your boat, and the registration will give you the boat an identification number, a registration number, and that has to be displayed on both sides of the boat.
Wow.
And it has to be displayed such that the number can be seen above the water.
Almost like a license plate in a car.
That's exactly
Interesting.
right. And you can't put it on the bottom of the boat, just like you can't put your license plate under. Exactly.
Oh,
all right, so register your boat. What about who can drive the boat? Well, we have different rules for different ages.
Okay.
If you were born after July 1st, 1996, you can operate a boat, but you have to have a boating safety certificate. If you're born before then, if you're born before July 1, 1996, you can operate a boat just by virtue of the fact that you're of that age. And you don't need to have a boating safety certificate.
Essentially right around 22 years old right now is what we're saying.
That's right. And they're not difficult to do, but it's a hard and fast rule. And so if you're going to be driving the boat as a teenager or as a person in their young 20s, make sure you have that boating safety certificate. Life jackets. Gotta have life jackets on board. Gotta have enough life jackets on board for as many people who are on board and for people you may be pulling behind the boat.
It's essentially like a car with seatbelts. Got to have them nowadays.
That's right. It's easy, though, I think, when people getting on and off boats, having fun, and they maybe lose track of how many people are on the boat, how many life jackets do you have. So what do? Get some extra life jackets. It's not going to be a problem. Boating and alcohol and drugs. This is an easy one.
Sure is.
This is a no-no. All right? You cannot operate a boat under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and it is essentially the same rule as we have for automobiles. The blood alcohol level is 0.08, so if your BAC is higher than that and you are operating a boat, you are unfortunately going to be guilty of a crime. If you do that more than once, you can be guilty of a more serious crime. Here's the other thing, though. Why do we have these rules? Because we want people to be safe. If an accident happens on a boat and someone is operating the boat under the influence, that person can be guilty of a very serious crime and sometimes a felony. And there, of course, in those situations can be civil liability as well, which is another important thing to remember. Obviously, you don't want anything bad to happen, but what if it does? Get insurance for your boat, not only to protect the boat itself, but to protect you from any liability claims that might result if tragedy strikes. So make sure that you talk to your agent. Now's the time of year people are putting their boats in their water. Make sure your insurance is paid. Make sure you got as much coverage as you can afford. I've never met anybody practicing law who says I bought too much coverage.
Exactly. All right, Tom, people have questions for you. Where do they find you?
They can find us online at www.sinusdramus.com. In West Michigan, they can give us a call at 616-301-3333 or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.